Hello, artist. Welcome back. It is Friday, June 5th. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful week and that you're filling your sketchbook with a lot of amazing art. Um, Today we are jumping all around and we are going to prompts, and I can't find it on my list because my list is getting so messy with lots and lots of dates and things like that on it. But we are going to draw someone setting out on an adventure. So let me see if I can find that really quick. And I probably won't be able to at all, but maybe I can really quick. Number 32. So we're 32. Number 32. Draw someone setting out on an adventure. So I'm just going to do something kind of fun with you and a little bit different today. I learned this art therapy process from along the way from my art therapy professors, I suppose. But it was made by art therapist Art Robbins, and Art Robbins has passed away, but he was a great art therapist and brought a lot to the world of art therapy. So I'm going to show you what his idea of setting out on an adventure looked like. So we take a blank sheet of paper, or we work in our sketchbook. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it in half again. So I've got 4 quadrants, and I might even label them so I don't get confused. And I wish I had a piece of tape so I could tape it right there, but I don't at the moment. I'm coming to you from Tabor Studio this morning. So I've labeled my quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I realize the pencil I have is not going to be dark enough for you to see. So I am going to step away from the camera for just a minute. I'm going to grab a piece of tape, and I'm going to grab something a little bit darker to work with. I will be right back. Grab your sketchbooks, grab what you'd like to work with, or a different prompt if you'd like to work with a different prompt, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Got my tape. Tape this up here so it's a little bit higher on the camera. I've got some Sharpies so we can see it better on the film. Okay, so in number 1, I'm setting out on an adventure, or someone is setting out an adventure. So on this adventure, you can only take what you have in your backpack. Okay, so you set out on your adventure. So I'm going to draw myself setting out on my adventure with my backpack on my back. And this is a very quick draw kind of thing. So I've got a little stick person here, backpack on my back. I'm going to make it blue. Give me some blue hair blowing in the wind all over the place, blowing everywhere. And I'm going to give myself a walking stick. And this is my path that I'm on. Okay, so I'm on my adventure. Now, what happens is I come to a river. I come to a river. Any size river, doesn't matter, but there's my river. Now, there's no way across. How am I going to get across this river? Draw yourself getting across that river, whatever that is. Okay, very, very quick draw, very quick draw. So the next one, we've made it across our river, and now we have made it up a mountain. And on that mountain, there is a big ram, a big mountain goat with very big horns. And we've met it coming around the corner. Here we are, here, we're meeting it. How are we going to get around that corner? This mountain crevice, or this mountain pass here, is only wide enough for one of us. So how are you going to get past that that mountain ram, that bighorn sheep. How are you going to do it? He's not very happy to see us, not very happy to see you, not very happy to see me. How are you going to do it? Draw yourself getting past that ram or that mountain sheep. Okay, so we're past him. We got past him. Now, number 3. We've made it to the top of that mountain, and here we are at the top of that mountain. Your mountain probably looks different than that, and I hope it does. Okay, so there I am. I'm at the top of the mountain, my blue backpack, my hair in the wind. It's starting to rain, lots and lots and lots of rain. And I notice up ahead, there's a cave. But guarding the cave, there are 2 monsters. And they are not going to let me into that cave. There are my monsters. Okay, but we have to get in. It's starting to downpour, and we need some shelter. How are you going to get past those monsters? Draw yourself getting past those monsters. Okay, now we've got past those monsters successfully, and in the cave there is a fire. And there's someone waiting for you. Draw that someone. Who's waiting for you? Who or what is waiting for you? Okay, so that's the quickest adventure I've ever been on. Very short-lived, but we made it. So take another minute and complete your drawing, if you will. Remember, 1 was we set out on that adventure. We came to a river, and how were we going to get across it? And then once we did, we were on our way up a mountain, and we came around a pass, and there was just room for us or the ram. And how were we going to get by that ram? Then the 3rd one, we made it to the top of the mountain, and it started to downpour, and there was a cave we could seek shelter in, but there were 2 monsters guarding it. How were we going to get by them? And then number 4, the end of our journey. Inside the cave there is a fire, and there's someone waiting for us. Who is it? Okay, so what art therapist Art Robbins said is this could be really telling about our lives. In this very short, and I think he would spend about 2 to 4 minutes on it. I like to spend 2 minutes in each quadrant, although we didn't just now. It was much, much faster. Art Robbins says about this. The first one, crossing that river. He says this is about looking at the tools that you have within you. So what tools did you have in your backpack? What resources do you have inside you? How do you plan and prepare? And how do you make it over those first obstacles and big obstacles in your life? Someone might have drawn a very little stream, a very little creek, and jumped on over. You might have found rocks, stones, stepping stones in the river and did that. Me, I had an axe, a small axe in my backpack, and I found a dead tree and I chopped it down and I used it as a bridge to cross over. Now, so Art Robbins would say, do you use what's before you? Do you seek something out? Where is your strength coming from? How do you find that? How do you solve those problems? Okay. Number 2, this is a dilemma head on. How do you deal with those fights, those situations that are right in your face? How do you deal with those? Do you avoid them? Sometimes people push the ram off the mountain, pushing right through it. Do you jump over it? Do you trick it? That's what I did. I decided to make my problem go away. So I threw carrots down another path, down the path of the mountain rams are good at climbing very steep. So he's not going to fall off. He's going to just climb his way down and get those carrots I threw down there. So again, I was looking at what were the resources in my backpack and how do I deal with conflict? Well, I guess I don't like to deal with it head on, and sometimes I like to find a more peaceful way to deal with conflict. So that's what I did here. Number 3, meeting those monsters. How do you deal with authority figures? How did you deal with your parents? How do you deal with people here at Oakwood telling you what to do and you can't do this and you can't do that now during the coronavirus? How do you deal with it? How I dealt with it, I didn't want to really get into it with these monsters. I didn't want to battle it out with them. They would certainly win. I decided to climb up the rock, and I thought I would rappel down, and I realized I'm not a rappeller. I know nothing about real mountain climbing, so that would be disastrous. So instead, I threw what I probably have in my backpack, some cookies or something like that, threw the cookies, and they went chasing them. So again, I'm just using, avoiding the conflict, avoiding the battle, and leading that battle or that conflict away from me with other things that I have. I guess maybe creativity or maybe just my ability to bring some food along. Okay, number 4, you met someone in a cave. Who was waiting there for you? Sometimes this is a person for people. Sometimes it's God or Jesus, or it could be anyone. For me, it was my mom. So my mom is waiting by the fire. She would build a really great fire. She's very resourceful. She can do anything, really. So she is waiting in there. I miss her so much, and there she is, and she always brings me peace in times of very tough times. So that was my adventure. I hope you had a fun, quick adventure and maybe learned some things about your resourcefulness and how you deal with conflict and how you deal with consequences and who you turn to in those dark times. And in those times of even celebrating this victory of finishing this strenuous adventure. Okay? Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back here on Monday with you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine and keep making art.